Hello gamers and welcome to Let's Build a Deck with Panzer-Division Tatra, the new free Panzer Division for Germany. And like I said in the division overview, I possibly think it could go like into an infantry spam direction, but also like artillery game, despite the slight lack of slots here, combined with air recon. So that's what I want to do. So when I build a deck, I learned that you kind of often want to, use your 1-point slots first. And with the infantry, you need kind of something for every phase. And then you've got some spare points, and then you can set your emphasis kind of a bit. So here I definitely want to take the Aufklärer, because they hardly have any range. I don't even need to put them on only return fire kind of. But I want to bring them in the Spähwagen. Unvetted or vetted? Well, because it's a bit costly, I think I want to vet them once. It'll also upvet the Spähwagen. 10% almost more rate of fire with the MG. Also decent rounds here. AP shells, 103 rounds per minute. Is that possible? That's pretty cool. 20mm, 45mm penetration. Yeah, let's do it like this for now. And then obviously there's also the Aufklärungspanzer 3M, which might be a decent choice later on for this slot. But I'm going with the Panzer Spähwagen, and this one comes in A phase. Okay, I would lose 2 units, so just single vetted. And this also only comes in A phase. It might be an option to bring, to bring these guys in B phase actually, and not have any recon units in A phase, infantry recon units. I mean, something worth considering, I think. With regards to the income, I'm leaning towards balanced, so I can use it in quick play and ranked play. Now, here I want to rely on these cheap troops a little bit. They can only come in A phase, so I want to bring them. And the Landesschützen can come in B phase, and they've got the LMG. And they can also come in A and B phase, and they don't have an LMG. I think these are... maybe someone can explain to me why I would take the... Why would I take the Ersatztruppen over the Landesschützen Ost? The rifle... Well, there's 11 Landesschützen and only 9 Ersatztruppen. Obviously, it's the availability only. And then I've got a submachine gun for both, and the LMG only for the Landesschützen. So I will definitely take the Landesschützen, I think, in B phase, or potentially even in C phase, and take the Ersatztruppen in B phase. How about that? That would be lots of infantry. Yeah, well, let's see how it goes. We definitely need to take the SS Sturmgrenadier units, because that's my best kind of mid-range city fighting yellow forest infantry. I'm definitely going to upvet them once for sure, and I will bring them in B phase in an SDK of that, because they are my special troops. They deserve all the support they can get. Our other CQC unit is... Oh, we still have the SS Schupo in A phase, which we could bring. But they are not that fantastic, and they are more expensive. What's the advantage over the Landesschützen? Same SMG, worse rifle, 1 guy less, and similar, well, automatic rifle instead of a LMG. I'm not sure why they are more expensive. It's 12 in A phase, and the Landesschützen is also 12 in A phase. So there was this Sturmpionier, I think, yes, here. So we definitely need the Sturm Pioneer. In the A phase it would be only 5 units, but I think we will need some good CQC in the A phase as well, and I think that the Sturmgrenadiers are much better, so let's use them. And they've got the smoke, so they can get out of the pickle if need be. So let's, I mean, it's a bit of a shame it's only 5, but we need some CQC. And I would like to have some more line infantry in B phase actually. And I think I'm going for the, I might go for the, well, there's a Pioneer unit actually, Pioneer MG26 with Geballte Ladung. And then there's the Panzergren with, okay, so these two cards would actually be quite decent. This will give me more CQC capabilities in the forest, for example. Panzerfaustschütze over the Panzergrenadier, better, much better LMG, and still a Panzerfaust 5 points difference, so I think I'd rather go for these guys. What's the availability? Or the availability is an argument for these guys, so let's use them in B phase. And let's get some decent, okay, I can't bring them in C phase. So, I mean, some more line, what about this guy? It's only 1 LMG. I think I'd rather have 2 LMGs. So let's actually change it and maybe bring them in B phase. Maybe even single vetted. And then bring the, okay, I can't bring these in, okay, where are they? These guys in C phase, unvetted. And now obviously I don't have a leader. I don't have line infantry in A phase, but I might be able to compensate with Aufklärungsunits. And then we've got Panzergrens and Sturmgrens and Ersatztruppen in B phase, which I think is decent. And then we've got some decent units in C phase as well. Maybe not yet enough infantry. Well, let's see. So in A phase it would be, okay, it doesn't add it up. It would be like 23 cheap infantry units. Then I've got 35, 43, and then again I've got like an infinite number in C phase, 125. Yeah, and I want to play the artillery game a little bit, so let's maybe add some artillery. Well, let's go step by step. And I might want to add a leader here as well. Not sure which one. Let's add one already. Now, I don't necessarily need an automatic rifle on the leader because it will just, you know, make the enemy aware of him, and it's micro intensive. This is 500 meter range, and this is also 500 meter range. Yeah, on the other hand, this guy has 9 guys. So they have better survivability. And I think I'll bring them in B phase only. What's about the availability? Also 6. Pionierführer only in A phase, but good for CQC actually. But I think I need to go for numbers here. Also considering that I will need them for my artillery, I need leaders. Okay, I want to jump to support first because I must not forget to add field gendarmerie and in particular the Feldjäger. The Feldjäger come in B phase. And the gendarmerie, I would lose 1 unit, but they are not supposed to fight anyway. So I'll bring them in A phase. And actually this is not enough discipline units, but it's worth a shot. So tank We will take 3 tanks to begin with. I think I'm going to go with the Panzer III in A phase, single vetted or double vetted. I would only lose 1, so I think I'll go double vetted. They've got the AP shells 100mm and also APCR shells 150mm. I think that's decent. Now the question is, do they have Jagdpanzers? Yes, they do. Okay, so let's actually not take too many here, but let's fill that. I think this is just not good enough. Even though 70mm, it would be 8 tanks. And that would be quite the decent support for the infantry, actually, for the cheap infantry. So behind my lines, kind of, might be worth a shot. Obviously, they can get killed quickly. I will need artillery early on. Now, the Führer would be only 1 card. The Stuck might be 2. I think I would need a Tiger in C phase. Now, maybe obviously the Panzer IV-H is pretty decent. But let's go for this. I will go for Jagdpanzers, I think. And I think they should come in numbers. So this little bit of extra rounds rate of fire with 70mm only penetration, it's not really worth it. But I think I might need a medium tank in B phase. But we'll get back to that. Here there's the Stuck 3E with heat shells, which is pretty cool. They can only come in A phase yet again. The AP shells have a decent range, but hardly any penetration. It's more like an infantry support vehicle. I think I will definitely take a commander. Let's go for this one. We will need ammunition. I've got 1 more slot, and I think it needs to go to a heavy machine gun. Availability in A phase is 6, availability in the A phase is 5, so let's go for this one. But it's also more expensive. In B phase it would be 12 and this would be 10. I think I'll go for the cheaper one. I think suppression is even better. Rounds per minute is obviously worse. But I get 1 more unit. Anti-tank. There are very good options here. Marder 3, unfortunately only in A phase. I think I want to bring the Jagdpanzer in B phase as my main sort of B phase battle tank, because I think it's pretty awesome. If you use it on a path, yeah, and secure the sites, it's pretty cool. We will definitely need a Pak 40, possibly in B phase, because we've got lots of light vehicles already. And I want to go for one of these cheap guns, the one with heat shells, presumably. This one doesn't have heat shells. What's the chance to hit? 37%. And this one is, well, it's much better accuracy. And 90mm, yeah, I think I'll go for this one because of the... It's 6 and this would be also 6. Let's go for this one. Obviously this might be an interesting option because it can give me support fire. And it could be an option for a beefier unit in A phase. Might go for another Jagdpanzer unit. What about the Jagdpanzer 38? With APCR shells, which is really decent and 1.5 kilometers range. The AP shells have good penetration and the front armor is 105mm. And it could come in A, B and C phase. I think it's maybe a nice C phase option. But with this setup, I'm kind of still lacking a medium tank in B phase. I've only got the Jagdpanzer. Marder in A phase is obviously also a good option. The Marders are very good and cheap. Also, I would need a Panzerschreck, presumably. Let's go for the Panzerschreck. And only 2 points cost. I could go for this for like some cheesy stuff, but yeah. Tank would be 2 points here as well. So, well, let's take a look at the AA. It's going to be the... This is only available in A phase, so I'll bring it in A phase unvetted. We need to try it out. And then we bring this in B phase, also unvetted. Maybe with me, no, like this. Okay. Artillery. Obviously a mortar will be necessary. I won't be pushing in A phase, so I might bring them in B phase. And I would like to have an A phase artillery piece. And I think this one has lots of shells, and this is only available in A phase, so let's bring it. Maybe even in an SDKFZ, so I can move it around. Would cost me no points extra. I think this might stay, or will it disappear? I think it will disappear. 45, 65. Yeah, no, let's bring it like this. And then in B phase, potentially we bring this one. And then in C phase, the Schwerfeldhaubitze with radio and ammunition, because I will play balanced. I mean, 155 points. 160 now would be much better. So I would have to play Juggernaut. Considering that I've got that many cheap units in A and B phase with regards to infantry and stuff, it might actually be an option to play Juggernaut. It would cost me 20 points in B phase compared to balanced. And compared to Maverick, obviously that would be kind of devastating. But if I hold out, I actually play Juggernaut. Because then I can bring one of these cards plus one of the Landesschützen, for example. If I only get 155 points, might be bad. I might also be able to ditch the ammunitions truck, but that depends on how the game goes. Alright, and then let's head to the air tab. I've got 8 points left. I will definitely bring all the Racken units. That's kind of the point of the deck I'm creating. B phase or C phase. C phase would be 8. So I think that I've got 6 here. They will carry me through B phase as well. And then let's bring that in C phase. You know, just for the availability. Could even bring another one of these. It's a bomber as well. Let's do it. Then let's bring, we need the fighters for sure. It's only one card. Okay, that's bad. Because that's the only fighter option I've got. This could be a cheap heavy bomber in A phase. It's super slow, but I don't think it's worth bringing this one at all. Let me know what you think, but I don't think it's viable. So I will have to bring this one in B phase. And then potentially a... Okay, now I'm in a pickle because I've got 3 points left. And so I can't bring another plane. Which kind of means I need to ditch one of these guys in order to get the get the heavy bomber here. But do I need the heavy bomber if I've got that much artillery? Possibly not. I could obviously ditch the Focke-Wulf air racken. Let's ditch it. And I think that the ground attack planes have been nerfed, or some planes have been nerfed, I'm not quite sure. And bring these in C phase. If there's a heavy infantry push, I would possibly need a bomber. Yeah. So I've got 3 points left. 3 points basically now means in the current setup I could ditch this one and get a tank and an anti-tank. But I possibly need the ammunition. But the ammunition will come in C phase, and this one has, I mean, 30 shells ain't much, right? So how about, okay, they can't come with ammunition. They can't come with ammunition either, and I don't have one of those Wurfrahmens yet. Now in the anti-air tab I could bring these with ammunition. And I think I'm going to do that. It's possibly not the best call, but let's do it to try it out. Because then I can ditch the ammunition truck. And I can get other cards like a Panzer IV, single vetted, and potentially actually the Batterieführer. But that's not many Führers units. This would be 4 points, unfortunately, now. So 3 points left. Artillery tab. Maybe I need to make a heavy hit with a Wurfkörper. Because ditching this support truck only freed up 2 points. So this is the only 3 points slot I've got. I think the amount of tanks is good enough, for sure. I mean, considering that I've got that much artillery, I could possibly even ditch the mortar. Take the Wurfrahmen. Oh, it's A phase. It's only one. Take the Batterieführer though. In B phase. Because otherwise I just won't have enough leader units. And then I've got 3 points. I would be again artillery. Now maybe the Beobachter to do some sneaky action. Flicks that at once against me. It's super effective and they are very, very cheap. And they've got like this 2 kilometer radius for the radio. And yeah, and it's a scout unit. I think I'm going to try that out. Why can I not add it? Okay, now I can. Here we go. So this is my first attempt at the deck. I think A phase cards with, well, this will be tricky, but it'll be backed up with Panzer 38s and Panzer 3s, and obviously the Aufklärungsunits. I am actually going to change this one to B phase, single vetted, and then I should have enough Recon. This is also Recon, so lots of Recon. They even have radio. B phase infantry here looks decent, I think. C phase looks good. Also cheap. Tanks looks good. Also I've got the Jagdpanzer, 2 Jagdpanzer types. AT looks decent enough. I mean, the Zis gun might be an option as well. Support, 1 heavy machine gun, and the ammunition comes with this one and with this one. So I have lots of ammunition. Possibly even too much, we will see. But if I really play lots of artillery, it will be needed. I think. If they survive long enough. Please let me know if this disappears or not. I think it disappears because it's for free. But let me know. Okay, and let me know what you think of the deck. I will try it out. Obviously it could be played balanced as well, but because the infantry is quite cheap, I think it's viable in Juggernaut. I will try it out and show you the results. Tatra Jugger. Not sure if that's smart. Against the Maverick player, possibly not, but we will see. Thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.